All right, thanks for tuning in today. Before I get into today's watch, I want to do a quick follow-up on my previous review, which was for the Xeric Soloscope. If you watched that review, you saw that I wasn't super happy with at least one aspect of the watch, which was the chronograph, something that I'm honestly never going to use on this watch. But it's a brand new watch, and you hope that everything works perfectly and as it should. It just basically, the chronograph stopped running and then I couldn't get it to reset back to zero. It was acting really, really funny. And so I was a little bent about that. Other than that, I really like the watch. It's super unique. It's a really a cool, unique piece. So I reached out to Zurich since then, and they got back to me after a couple of days. This was all through email. And they essentially said, hey, check your instruction manual. It will tell you how to reset that. And like most men who don't look at the instruction manuals, I wasn't aware that the fix was in there. Now, I have heard of this fix before, and I could have swore that while I was doing the review I tried this and I couldn't get it to work. So I went ahead and tried it again since it's in the instruction manual. So essentially you pull the stem out, and then once that's out, then you can push the reset button and it should reset it back to zero when and it worked. So after, I don't know why it worked then and I couldn't get it to work before, but I think that's a pretty normal fix for chronographs when it comes to most watches with that trick. But now that I've got everything up and running again, I just wanted to make sure that I gave it its due diligence. That Zurich did reply back. I've been pretty happy with the company, and I really enjoy the halograph, and I won't hesitate to pick up other Zurichs in the future. I've been looking at this. The Evergraph has been kind of a cool watch. If I can find a good deal or a nice trade on that, I might give that one a go. So anyway, just wanted to touch back on that. The Xeric Soloscope, I've got everything set back to zero again. It's not like I'm ever going to use the chronograph on my watches, especially a watch like this. It's not exactly a sport watch. I'm not going to be wearing it out in any setting where a chronograph might come in handy. But you get picky about your watches and you wish that everything would work the way they're supposed to. So I'm not going to spend any more time on that. What I want to discuss today is, if I can find it, is the Mondia Swiss Master. They come in a really nice presentation. This white, I'm assuming it's leather. It's this leather box inside of a box. This great big white leather box, so it really jumps out at you when you open it up. So you can tell they're really they're sparing no expense when it comes to presentation for these. So we'll get down to it. I got the gray with the orange secondhand model. The kind of seems like the most common one is a red and black, or it might be dark blue, but I think it's red and black on the bezel. And there's a blue with yellow accents. But this one, I haven't seen a lot of the grays, to be honest, and I really like it. Initially, when I wanted the Mondia, I was chasing the red one, but when I saw this gray one, I thought, crap, that's actually pretty cool. I don't have any gray watches. So, get it out of the box here, give it a little show. So, one thing that struck me with this watch when I first got it was, I was surprised how thin it actually is. I didn't realize it was this thin of a case. It's pretty low profile. This does have, this is a dive watch, so it does have a rotating bezel, a unidirectional bezel. It's really tight on this watch. It's not hard to turn, but it's tight. I think there's, a rubber grommet or something in there that it's running on top of. And so I could be wrong about that, but that's how tight it feels when you turn that bezel. It does have a cyclops on it for your date window. This does have a sapphire crystal. It is a flat crystal. It comes on this nice stainless steel band. It alternates between a brushed steel and then this polished. This is one slight complaint or concern, I should say, with this watch. Because of these really highly polished pieces on the links, something I noticed right off, they can kind of get scuffed and scratched really easily. So you got to be really careful about desk rash with this watch, and be careful about what kind of surfaces you have your hands rested on, maybe while you're on it, sitting at the desk or whatever you're going to be doing. So that is going to be a little bit of an issue in the long term with this. You can see I've already got a little bit of scuffing there on the bottom. I typically try to sit when I'm at my desk during the day. I try to sit with something softer underneath my wrist, just some paper or something instead of just the rough desk. I don't know if that's doing a lot of good, but this has an automatic edit movement. This is a 28-24. Really a smooth, very quiet movement. Keeps time perfectly. Haven't had any issues or any complaints as far as the movement on this watch. One strange thing for such a high-end Swiss watch I didn't realize until I got it was this just has a traditional pull-out crown. It's not a screw-down crown. I don't know, that doesn't necessarily matter a whole lot, but I would have preferred that it was a screw-down crown. It has this kind of little bit of, that's another complaint. I don't know if that's freaking plastic or if this is, I can't imagine it is. It's got to be metal, this gray piece here for the dial, but I don't know, might be a concern in the long term. It does have their logo there on the crown. This is a water resistance to 10 atmospheres. It says that it's 12 millimeters thick. It says that this is 44 by 55 diameter, so I'm assuming, I guess it must be referring to 55, I'm assuming from top to bottom, and then it's 45 millimeter or 44 millimeters in width. That's probably accurate, and I'm assuming they're probably counting this entire case width across here is 55, because that's not 55 there. It's not a terribly large watch on wrist. It's got these cool cutouts there on the sides of the case. I'll do some lume tests here in a few minutes, and I'll show off the lume as well. I have been pretty impressed with that on this watch. It's very bright, so just kind of what you'd expect from a Swiss watch with some actual history to it, something that's been a company that's been manufacturing for several decades. That's the Mondia Swiss Master. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.